There we go. There we go. Let's try to shake it off. Shake off all the cobwebs. Okay. What is up, YouTube? Jay here again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the NovelKeys NK65 version 2. We're going to discuss what I like about this keyboard, what I don't like about this keyboard, and whether or not I think you should be spending your hard-earned money to add this to your game. So quick rundown about the keyboard. It is NovelKeys' entry-level offering to the custom keyboard community. It is a 65% layout with a hot swap USB-C PCB. It comes in both a polycarbonate and aluminum version. The polycarb version setting you back at around under $100 plus shipping plus tax. The aluminum version setting you back at about $185 plus shipping plus tax. The PCB is per key RGB lighting, so if you're into the whole RGB thing and you have some, see-through keycaps, this is definitely gonna scratch that RGB itch that most of you have. I mean, who doesn't have RGB, right? Professional gamer here, hello. This PCB is VIA compatible, so throw some switches on this bad boy, put some keycaps on there, set your key maps up with your RGB lighting, and you're good to go. This keyboard also comes with a few accessories, including a travel case, a USB-C cable, and the keyboard actually has a dampening pad inside the case underneath the PCB. This is supposed to help with some case ping, albeit it could use a little bit more, but still the fact that it comes with the dampening pad is a nice touch at this price. So let's discuss what I like about this keyboard. Well, for one, you get different case material choices. You get to choose between an aluminum version or a polycarbonate version. As of the making of this video, I believe they only make a black and silver in aluminum, and they only have purple in polycarbonate. However, they are in the works of making an E-white aluminum and also a beige/cream color in polycarbonate. I don't know, it looks kind of cream beige-ish to me, so you Google it, take a look at it, see what you think. Let me know in the comments down below what kind of color you think it is. Another thing I like is the competitive pricing. So for entry-level boards, the usual price for a custom mech is gonna run you around $200-ish, a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on the type of materials, the type of PCB, the type of plate, just overall build quality. It really depends, but around this price point is kind of the sweet spot for entry-level boards. It's cheaper than the drop-alt high profile, and it's around the same price as the KBD Fans DZ65 do-it-yourself kit. Another nice thing about this keyboard is that the PCB is hot swap. This not only benefits newcomers who are just getting into the hobby trying to find that typing experience that they like, but there's no soldering involved. So if you're a person that's worried about messing up a soldering job and don't feel like taking the leap to learn how to solder, this is gonna be a keyboard for you. Another nice feature about this keyboard is that it came with a dampening pad. So with a lot of these entry-level boards, you're gonna get designs of cases that tend to have a lot of case ping. Now a dampening pad is really nice to have because it helps you hear the switches and keycaps more, rather than hearing some very hollow, tinny metallic sounds due to the lack of material between the bottom of the case and the PCB. And last but not least, the accessories that you get at this price point compared to other entry-level keyboards is really nice to have. You get a very nice carrying case with the USB-C cable. So if you're not one to really have like USB-C cables just kind of laying around, this comes ready to go, ready to plug and play, ready to travel with you. And at this price point, that's kind of baller. That's a pretty baller move, and it's very much appreciated. Now, as far as what I don't like about this keyboard, for one, it comes with plate mount stabilizers. And if you've seen my drop alt video, you know that I'm not a fan of these. Plate mount stabilizers are notorious for being rattly. So immediately you're gonna have to take these out, you're gonna have to clip them, you're gonna have to lube them, you have to band-aid mod them just to make them sound decent. If this keyboard had just come with PCB mount stabilizers, it would have been the king of entry-level keyboards. Seriously, like why put plate mount stabilizers on this thing? That's such a terrible idea. Maybe to somebody who's just starting off in the custom keep game, this wouldn't be a huge deal, and maybe they don't know better. But for those of us who are trying this board out to kind of keep for a while and make sure that it sounds good so that we can make typing videos or, just enjoy the typing experience, plate mount stabilizers are a bad choice. Second thing I don't like about this keyboard is that they're always out of stock. Now this is probably due to COVID and the high demand for entry-level boards at the moment with new people coming into the hobby, but it's hard to get your hands on. It really sucks. Good luck getting your hands on one, especially the polycarbonate version. Next thing I'm not a fan of is the corners of the case. The corners are actually pretty sharp. If you happen to drop something near this keyboard that happens to scratch easily or bump it with your hand, it might do a little damage. Okay, it might hurt. It might give you a boo-boo, all right? So just be careful with the corners of this case. And the last thing that I really didn't like about this keyboard was the quality control. My PCB came defective from the factory. I did try to reach out to NovelKeys' customer service, but long story short, they told me to F off and just go buy another PCB, when in reality, I felt like they should have taken care of the issue. But that's gonna be in a separate video. I'm gonna go ahead and link that down in the description below. So if you're interested in hearing what my customer service experience was like, go ahead and click that link and you'll get to hear all about it there. Needless to say, the quality control on the PCB and the plate was kind of poor. For one of my keys didn't work. Specifically the apostrophe and the quotations key. It looks like the contact pad from one of the hot swap sockets was loose from the factory, and you know, I've tried to look at different ways to try to fix it, but it just looks like it's out of my expertise, so I just don't want to mess with it. And two, I guess the tolerances for the plate are very tight, because it's a kind of a pain in the ass to take switches out of this keyboard. So if you watch anybody like Teja or somebody with a high-end hot swap keyboard, it looks pretty easy the way that they just pull the switches out from the keyboard. However, with this keyboard, I've actually killed a few switches because the plate is so tight that the switch will not come loose from the plate or the PCB, and it's actually broken some of the housings of my switches. And mind you, I'm trying to be as careful as I can with pulling these out. I'm trying to wiggle them out little by little, and still to no avail. I have to go ahead and pull the top half of the keyboard off from the bottom half, and I have to physically push the switch out from the bottom of the PCB while simultaneously pulling it out with a switch puller just to get the switch out. Now look, I get that not everything is perfect, and I get that, you know, at this price point you shouldn't complain too much, but if you are offering a hot swap keyboard that is meant for you to just have a switch puller and pull your mechanical switches out from the plate, you shouldn't have to worry about it being stuck, right? Am I right? You should just be able to grab your switch puller and pull the mechanical switch out from the hot sockets, from the plate, without having to bend the plastic of your switch. Now, I don't know if this is just my keyboard. I don't know if this is just this keyboard, but I've never had this issue with my drop alt. Regardless, it's a pain in the butt to take switches out, so if you're looking at trying to buy one of these, hopefully yours doesn't come like mine does. And not only is it a pain in the ass to try to take switches out of this keyboard, if you remember watching the stream where Teja Types tries to take it all apart to try to show everything off, one of the screws in particular that's holding the PCB and the plate together, one of the screws ends up stripping. Same thing happened to me. One of the screws came out just fine. The other screw ended up stripping because it was on too tight from the factory. That shouldn't be an issue. Like, I shouldn't have to worry about a screw stripping when just trying to take the PCB apart from the plate. Like, this just, what is going on here? By the way, just to preview to the other video, if you happen to let NovelKeys know that one of the screws stripped, they're gonna tell you probably tried to unscrew it wrong. What am I, fucking 10 years old and don't know how to use a screwdriver? Are you kidding me? Anyway, I digress. What are my final thoughts about this keyboard? Well, here's what I think. Despite my shitty customer service experience, despite my scuffed version of the keyboard that I got from the factory, if you happen to get a keyboard of this model that happens to work like it should, it is a damn good value for the money. You not only get a keyboard that's hot swap, that has perky RGB lighting, that has underglow RGB, that comes with dampening material. It even has a traveling case that you can safely transport it to and from work without having to worry about breaking it if it for some reason drops, or if you have it in your backpack and are worried about it scratching your laptop up. It has a lot of things that other keyboards at this price point don't. But unfortunately, it is hard to get your hands on one of these things, especially the polycarbonate version, because it's so cheap and it looks good. Now, if you're going for the more expensive aluminum version, you might have a better shot because one, it's more expensive, so people aren't trying to pay that much money. When I got my keyboard, the buy was actually open for about an hour before they sold out. So if you are going for the aluminum version, you probably have a good chance of getting your hands on one. However, the polycarbonate version I think is gonna sell out within seconds because it's so cheap. Like it's kind of a no-brainer if you're looking at getting an entry-level board that's polycarbonate at that price point. It also could have used more dampening material. It's still nice that the keyboard comes with its own dampening pad, but it still had somewhat of a ping to it. So I actually went out to Home Depot, spent another $8 on some tool shelf liner and added another layer on top of that dampening pad, and that immediately fixed it. So it's not a huge deal breaker, but the dampening pad could have been a little bit thicker to help with that ping. And for the love of God, get rid of the plate mount stabilizers. Put PCB mount stabilizers in the next version, please. I guarantee you that if you put PCB mount stabilizers, you're gonna save a lot of people a lot of headaches, and you will be the king of entry-level boards. Guaranteed, 100%. Just do it. So overall, I wanna start doing this new thing where I start giving everything that I review a grade, okay? And as far as this keyboard goes, with the accessories that you get, with the fact that it's a hot swap board, it's great for beginners. There's no soldering involved. You get a case, USB-C cable, dampening material, albeit the quality control on some of these boards sucks. I honestly, if you were to get your hands on a good version of this board, I would give this keyboard a solid B grade. This is a good bang for your buck entry-level board. So who do I recommend this to? I recommend this keyboard to beginners, people who are looking at just getting into the hobby, who are still trying to figure out their typing experience, who are still trying to buy different switches to figure out whether they like tactiles, linears, clickies, what spring weight they like, things like that. That's who I recommend this board to. And I also recommend this board to people who are on a budget. This is a great value at a not so high cost. If you're not looking to spend a lot of dime and you're just wanting something that works but still provides a good sounding typing experience, then this is a good option for you. Now, if I personally were to go back in time, knowing what I know now, I would probably pass on this board. And that's not to say anything bad about this board. The reason I say that is mainly because of the shitty customer service experience that I've had with NovelKeys and the quality control issues that I experienced with my specific model that I purchased. You might not have the same issues that I did, so I can't for sure say that every single keyboard that's a NovelKeys NK65 version 2 is gonna have the same problems. So, if I were to go back in time, I would probably pass on it and never buy anything from NovelKeys again, because again, their customer service sucks. But objectively, without putting my experiences into this is a good buy for people who are looking for an entry-level board that doesn't cost an arm and a leg and provides all the basics that you would need for a custom keyboard. Let me know down in the comments below whether or not you'd go ahead and cop one of these bad boys, or would you save your money and put it towards a different board. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.